Yeah, very good morning, all of you. Today, English first class on personality development unit, unit 1 for 10th class students. And I welcome all of you for this class. And as you know, we have discussed first unit, reading A, that is attitude is altitude in our previous classes. And today we are going to talk about reading B, which is very, very important for all of us to improve our life skills, not only life skills. And if you want to success in our life, if you want to get success in our life, this chapter helps us a lot. And let us try to know what exactly the reading B talks about. The title of the reading B is very interesting, and we sometimes feel very very sad for certain things to happen in our life. And let us try to know more about reading B. And let me share the screen so that is trying to tell in reading B. And this is the cover page of the textbook, as you all aware that in reading B we have attitude is altitude. And in reading A we have attitude is altitude. We have already discussed in our previous classes, and today we are going to talk about reading B. Every success story is also a story of great failure. Every success story is also a story of great failures. And reading C, I will do it. And today we are going to talk about reading B, that is every success story is also a story of great failures. And the title is quite interesting, and most of the time we think about success, but we never think about failures. But failures are very, very important, it seems. He says, the author says, and we have so many sayings, or we have so many like titles like failure is not the opposite of the success, it's a part of success, and failure is not the dead end of our life. There are so many other things, but exactly the success is. And the author here talks about what exactly success is. And we think success is only getting something in our life, or getting past the examination, or getting one greatest achievement, or becoming some IAS, IPS, doctor. That is what success we think most of the time. But what success is, and what is failure, and what is failure? Failure is no very, very important in everybody's life. Failures are common. Failures are common. That is what the author tries to convey through this chapter, and he is very clear and very in a nutshell he gives us the importance of success, and he gives equal importance to success and failure, and sometimes he gives more weightage even to the failure also. And let us try to know what is success or failure important. And this question is well answered in this reading. Is success or failure important? Now what you consider? And most of the time if somebody asks, what do you want? No, you want successful in your life. And what if you get a failure? And that is where the question starts. If you are facing one a person's real capacity, real attitude, whether that person was able to do it or not. And the next we have you ever failed in your life? And this question we need to ask, every one of us should ask, have you ever failed in your life? And this is very, very important. Yes, of course, most of the time we fail. Very frequently we pass or we succeed. And success is is not a regular process, but failure for every one of us is a regular process. And we fail and we fail and we fail, and finally we become successful in our life. And what is your definition of success? And you may be having some definition of success. And what is the definition of your success to the what is your definition of the success? And if you want to define success, is getting a lot of money is success, or settling in a big manner is success, or settling going abroad is success? And what is success? And this is what is very important, which decides a person's life, a person's life story, or a person's entire career is based on this definition. And do you want success or failure? And of course, who would want failure? Every one of us would go for success, because we don't want failure. Nobody in this world want failure. And let us try to read. These are all the some questions which we find answers in this reading B. Every success story is also a story of great failures. I should thank the author Shiv Khera for titling this lesson. Every success story is also a story of great failure, and he is Mr. Shiv Khera, the greatest personality development speaker. He is from Indian origin and he settled in America. And his famous book, which was sold millions of copies, is You Can Win. If you have the time, please download the book and read. That will change your life. You Can Win, which was the most selling book on Amazon also. And the famous dialogue that is famous in his all the speeches: winners don't do different things, they do things differently. Winners don't do different things, they do things differently. And what do they do differently? That makes a winner and loser. And he says winners and losers are together, they sit together, they play together, they sit in the same class, they sit in the same bench, but one person becomes a winner and the other person becomes a loser. And what happens, sometimes we think it is luck, and he says that is not. They do things in a different manner. And how do they do? When a homework is given, a winner does the homework, a loser does not. He doesn't do. And when something is told by the teacher, a winner will do it and the loser will not do it. And both are friends only. Winners and losers are friends, and they are in the same condition, they are in the same environment, and they are in the same place. But what happens, winner acts upon the given schedule, whereas the loser always finds some mistakes, and that makes a winner loser in a different ways. And he is very clear in making every point in this lesson. And let's try and read the lesson line wise and understand every line in this lesson is very, very important. And if you can understand this lesson, and I hope you don't need any more lessons in your life, and this lesson would entirely satisfy your needs of your entire lifespan. And let us try to read the story. Failure is the highway to success. Tom Watson Sr. said, if you want to succeed, double your failure rate. Failure is the highway to success. Tom Watson Sr. said, if you want to succeed, double your failure rate. And he is Mr. Tom Watson Sr. And he said this. And let us try to know the difficult words. Highway. Highway is nothing but we know a main road. We have got Hyderabad, Vijayawada highway. That is highway without any hurdles, no difficulties. You go in with 100 or 120 speed. That is highway. And next word is double. Double means what? More than one. Doubling. So what he says, failure is the highway to success. And so most of the time what we think, if you want to succeed in life, we need to have only success, not failure. What Tom Watson Senior says, if you want to fail and you need to have if you want to succeed, you need to have a failure. And failure, the moment you are on the failure step and you are on the way to your success. And the more you want success, the more failures you need to have. That is what he says. If you are not failing at all, you are not doing at all. And if somebody says, I never failed in my life, and you should congratulate them, because they never did anything in their life. And if you do something, you will fail. If you are not failing, that means you are not doing anything new in your life. So let us try to understand, is failure important? Of course, failure is very, very important, and we should not take it for granted that failure is important and I will fail in the examination, sir. And so, Watson said, so I failed in the examination. That is not the right thing, actually. Failure is not that. What is failure? No, failure is that you try one chapter, you read the lesson and you could not understand. That is a failure. And you read again and you did not understand, again you read it again, you did not understand, you go for third, fourth reading and fifth reading, and finally there is a time that you would understand that, you but before you understand, you have read that particular lesson 10 times, and you fail 10 times, and finally you understand that lesson. That is your success. That is the failure, not simply taking for granted that that fellow said failure is very, very important, I am failing in every examination. No, that is not, you should not take it in that way. And what is the secret of success? Of course, the secret of success is failing. That is very, very easy. And if you fail in any attempt that you are making in your life, don't be scared, don't be afraid of failing, because there are so many people that you think who are successful, they were also failures, and they are also failed more than one time, not one time, more than many hundred number of times. And that is the reason. So it is very, very important that starting itself, very clearly he says that failure is very, very important. And the next paragraph, if you study history, you will find that all stories of success are also stories of great failures. But people don't see the failures, they only see one side of the picture, and they say that person got lucky. He must have been at the right place at the right time. Now, this is what people try to think. Now, let us try to understand the difficult words. History, what is history? And you may be having some kind of subject also. The study of we can study the past events. Our independence era is also past event, and we talk about Mahatma Gandhi and so many other great leaders who fought for this country. That is past we're talking about. And what is luck? And most of the time we use in our life luck, this particular word. Success or failure apparently brought by chance rather than one's own actions. Without any effort, if something comes on your way, that is your luck. Your parents give you a lot of wealth, that is your luck, not your effort. And you may get it or you may not get it, whether you may own it or not, you may protect it or not, but they will give you. But it is your luck. If they don't give you, that is also good, and you may have the opportunity to earn. And let us try to read the paragraph again and try to understand what exactly Shiv Khera is trying to tell us. If you study history, you will find that all stories of success are also stories of great failures. You go and check anybody, any person in the history, you check their life history, they tried and they failed many times, and not only one time, many times. You take any person, any great person, and they failed many times, but people don't see the failures. They only see one side of the picture, and they say that that person got lucky. And what happens if somebody is successful in the examination, if somebody got first rank in SSC examination, or 10 by 10 GPA, or he got NEET seat, or he got MBBS or MSET seat, what other people we think, he is very lucky. Question paper is very easy. No, there is a lot of mass copying went on in the examination hall. No, this is how we see, and we never understand what exactly that person kept to become successful. And we see only one side of the picture, and we see only one side, and we decide that that person was very lucky. And we never try to see how that person became successful, and we never try to understand why this person did and how he did and what kind of activities he did to become successful. And that is what is very, very important. And what do people see here? And people always see one side. They will not see your failures, they will not see your success, they will see your failure. And if you fail in any of your attempts, immediately your friends, what do? They make fun of you. They make, they may be giving a lot of discouragement, and they may insult you, and they may crack jokes on you, but nothing wrong. And sometimes I have seen so many students, if they start talking in English, and all the classmates, they start making fun of them, and they will come and tell, no sir, he is laughing when I am speaking in English. But what happened? The people who laughed, they never speak English, but the people who are laughed at, they start speaking English, and they are leading now. And that's the reason, if you are doing anything in your life, if somebody is laughing and making cracking jokes on you, don't bother about them, because that fellow is seeing only failure, and ultimately you are going to be successful. Can luck be considered as success? And no, not at all, at all. No, you cannot consider luck. And people say that fellow is very lucky, and luck is not a success at all. Luck. And there is a certain survey which was conducted, and on lucky lotteries, people buy lotteries and they get and there was a survey conducted on lottery people who got lottery got a lot of money, but after 1 year they came back to pavilion because they don't know the value of money, they don't know the value of earning. That's the reason they are again to the normal level. So only the work, the hard work and the smart work will help us to become successful, not the luck. And people may think when you are successful and you are very lucky, and sometimes he is very lucky, he got all the things from his parents. No, not at all. And parents are different, we are different. Your parents have different kind of attitudes and you have different kinds of attitude. And that's the reason we have to focus on our attitudes to become successful. And what does the history tell? And of course, what does the history tell? History talks about only failures, not success at all. And we think history is talking about success. History always tells us how people failed, and we have to understand why they failed and how we have to be successful. And when we are able to understand and read the history in a proper manner, and it's very easy for us to go and reach whatever the destination that we keep for our life. And let us try to read the third paragraph. Let me share someone's life history with you. That was a man who failed in business at the age of 21, was defeated a legislative race at age 22, failed again a business at the age of 24, overcame the death of his sweetheart at age 26, had a nervous breakdown at age 27, lost a congressional race at age 34, lost a senatorial race at age 45, failed in an effort to become vice president at age 47, lost a senatorial race at age 49, and was elected president of United States of America at the age of 52. This man was Abraham Lincoln. And this man was Abraham Lincoln. And what can we need more than this? This man failed more than anyone else in the lifespan of time. He failed in a given paragraph, he failed 9 times. And let's try to understand the difficult word. Legislative, it's a kind of assembly as we have in our state also, assembly having the power to make laws. And overcome, what is overcome? Succeed in dealing with a problem or a difficulty. And sweetheart, it's a girlfriend kind of thing. A nervous breakdown, a person having some kind of stress, mental ill health, anxiety, depression, that is we call nervous breakdown. And he failed so many times. At the age of 21 he failed, 22 he failed, 24 he failed, 26 he failed, 27 he failed, 34 he failed, 47 he failed, 49 he failed. He started failing from 21 years onwards, and he became successful at the age of 52. There are 30 years he has been failing. And finally there was a day, that is at the age of 52. Normally we think after 10 failures we stop, after 11 failures we stop, after 100 failures we stop, but this fellow never stopped. He started working on this again and again, and he became successful at the age of 52. And it was not so easy for him to become successful. The moment he started failing, he started learning. And the moment he started learning, he started becoming better. Failures will make us better, failures will give us a lot of scope to improve, failures will give us a lot of time to sharpen our talents, skills, and whatever we are supposed to do. And failures are stepping stones. That is what happened in the life story of Abraham Lincoln. And how many times did Abraham Lincoln fail? According to the given passage, he failed 9 times. But there are many other times that were not quoted in this paragraph, and he might have failed more than 9 times and 900 times also. And what happened to Lincoln at the age of 22? What happened? He lost his legislative race at the age of 22. He lost a legislative race. So he contested in the election, but nobody voted him. So he was defeated. And he never stopped there. Again he tried, that is what made Mr. Lincoln to become successful in his life. In Abraham Lincoln, is Abraham Lincoln failure or successful? So if you wave the failure and success, we see more failures and only one success. And can we consider that Abraham Lincoln a failure or a successful person? And nobody in this world considers Abraham Lincoln a failure, because he failed so many times. Even then, he failed so many times. He's ultimately came like a bouncing ball and became successful in his entire life. And he was the greatest person in the history of America. He made emancipation of proclaiming slave equal rights to blacks, and that was the greatest decision that he had made, and which leads and which helped the country to develop like any other country, or the country is leading in all the ways. And if we read and we understand the life story of Abraham Lincoln, he failed more than 10 times, more than 100 times, more than 200 times. So we can understand you cannot escape failure. You may escape success, but you cannot escape failures unless if you really try. And if you are failing, you have to congratulate yourself because you are really trying. If you are not failing, you have to think over it, and because you are not at all doing anything. And that is very, very important. And he is Mr. Abraham Lincoln, very, very a fantastic guy who made American history to stand in the first position. And the next paragraph, we call him a failure. He could have quit, but to Lincoln, defeat was a detour and not a dead end. How fantastically it said. Defeat means what? Failure. Dead end means what? There is no place to go. That is end. No, for Lincoln, defeat was not dead end. It is a detour, replanning. So why Lincoln was successful at the age of 52? No, the moment he failed, he replans, detours. He replans, he sits again, why he failed. He again is a kind of introspection, looking at all the things, all the items, and again going back why you failed, and again thinking about what happened, what exactly happened, and where something went wrong. He started correcting those things, and that made Abraham Lincoln to become successful. And did Lincoln quit? No. This is also very, very important. We quit most of the time, and always success is not a point of quitting. Success is the point of perseverance. We should have perseverance. So perseverance is nothing but trying again and again and again and again. If you quit after first failure, and nobody will help you. What happens most of the time, we try 10 times, and at the 11th time we quit. But the 11th time is the success is ready to come at the 11th time, but we quit. And the success might be thinking that why this fellow has quit. And that's the reason we have to be on toes to become successful. And when there is a defeat, when there is a failure, we should not quit the job. What is the defeat to Abraham Lincoln? For Abraham Lincoln, defeat is not a dead end. It is a detour. Detour means replanning, rescheduling, or rethinking, revising, and planning again, planning for more effectiveness, and come back with this special force, come back with extra force, come back with more power, and doing that particular work again. So if you want to successful, if I want to be successful, and we have to detour, or if you we have to replan, reschedule our time, everything, and then only we can become successful, or else and we will be a failure candidate. And let us try to, why was Lincoln successful? And this is again same thing. Lincoln was successful because he never considered failure was a dead end. He considered failure was a given item, or failure was a given chance to become successful in a better manner, or in a bigger manner. And let's just read the next paragraph. In 1913, Lee D. Forrest, the inventor of tube, was charged by the district attorney for using fraudulent means to mislead the public into buying stocks of his company by claiming that he could transmit the human voice across the Atlantic. He was publicly humiliated. Can you imagine where we would be without invention? And he is Mr. Lee D. Forrest, and he is called the father of radio. the father of radio, and whatever smartphones you are using, and now you are able to listen to my voice, and it's only because of this great guy, Lee D. Forrest. And we are enjoying the fruits now, but let us go to the initial beginning stage of this particular invention. In 1913, when he started, he went to a bank and asked for loan that I can transmit human voice. Nobody believed, and of course everybody made fun of him. Nobody would believe that now without a wire, how can you transmit human voice? It is very, very difficult, and that made, but now it is a reality. And that's the reason he's called father of radio. And what happened, he started a company, started selling all kind of shares, and most people bought the shares, but there are some kind of complaints on him, claiming that, saying that he is misleading, he is cheating the public, saying that transmitting them. What is transmitting? Sending voice from one place to other place. And now I am talking here, and you are able to listen my voice in your mobile phone or any TV, or that is what is transmission. And a human voice can be, he believed, he was the first person to believe that human voice can be transmitted. When he believed in 1913, nobody believed, and most of the people made fun of him, and most of the people laughed at him, and finally what happened, government filed a case on him, and he was kept in jail also, and he was publicly humiliated, people scolded him, but he never stepped back, he never went out of his uh, uh, target aim. He started working on this particular aim, and finally what happened, now we are able to enjoy the invention that he made, triode tube. So these are all the important things which are, triode tubes are very, very important in transmitting the human voice. And now we have the extended versions of these kind of things, but the basic version, whatever he invented, is really very, very useful, and nobody can record a human voice without this triode tube. And they are very basic things, and he was a father of radio also. That's, now we are not listening radios, but FMs we have, like in metropolitan cities we do listen FMs, and there are 100 number of channels, and no other channel interferes other channel. And that's the greatest effort which was made by Lee D. Forrest in 1913. And can we live without mobile phone now? Is it possible for any human being on this planet to live without mobile phone? It is not possible. And if you're using mobile phone, and sometimes what happened, sometimes what happens, if there is some disturbance when you speak, you feel frustrated, and we need a clear voice. Yes. And that is what is the process which is made by Lee D. Forrest. And why was Lee D. Forrest charged by the district attorney? People misunderstood him, people misunderstood, and there are so many cases filed by so many other people, as he was misleading the public to buy the stocks of his company. And he started a company where he said that he is going to transmit the human voice. So many aspirants who are willing to grow, or who are willing to invest the money, they bought, but later he was so many times failed also in inventing this kind of triode tubes, but finally he was very successful. And that's the reason we are able to read about Lee D. Forrest. Why was Lee D. Forrest publicly humiliated? Of course, because nobody believed whatever Lee D. Forrest believed in 1913. But now in 2020, Lee D. Forrest is a hero. In 2013, Lee D. Forrest was a zero. And in 2013, Lady Forrest was a zero, and there are cases on him also. So when you start doing exactly what you want to be successful, there are so many people, like anyone who may interfere you, who may mislead you, who may humiliate you, who may scold you, who may make fun of you, but we should not stop if we want to be successful in our life. And let us try to stop here, and let us try to understand the passages. And there is a paper, in a paper one editing passage, let us try to see. In question number 13 to 17, it is for 5 marks. Question number, and the questions are given like this. Read the passage given below. 5 sentences in the passage are numbered from 13 to 17. At the beginning, each of these sentences has an error correct and rewrite the sentences in your own answer booklet. And this is how the question is given in the examination, question paper 1, editing passage. And if we take some editing passage from this chapter, how it would look like. And let us try to read the passage and try to answer them. Failure was failure was the highway to success. Tom Watson Sr. said, if you want to succeed, double your failure rate. If you study history, you would find that all stories of success are also stories of great failures. And people don't see the failures, they only see one side of the picture, and they say that person got lucky. He must have been at the right place at the right time. And this is how the question is given in the examination. And what we have to do, we have to find out there are some errors, mistakes in each sentence. 13 there is one error, 14 there is one error, 15 there is one mistake, 16 one mistake, 17 one mistake, 5 mistakes we have to correct, and we have to rewrite in the examination, so that we will get marks. And let us try to correct them. The first one is answer is. Failure was the highway to success. Tom Watson Sr. said, if you want to succeed, double your failure rate. So failure is the highway to success, not was. Okay. And then 14th one, will. If you want to, if you study history, you would find that all stories of success are also stories of great failure. So here would is wrong. Here would is wrong. So in place of would, we have to keep will. So because it's a if conditional sentence, is if clause is in present tense, so it has to be in simple future tense. Would is wrong. And the 15th one, but. And people don't see the failures. And here conjunction and is wrong. In place of and, the conjunction but has to be used. But. So there is a correction of a conjunction. And the 16th one, they only see one side at that picture, and they say that the person got lucky. And off. So they only see one side of the picture, not at the picture. It's a correction related to the preposition at the picture, not at the picture, of the picture. And the 17th, let us see a. He must have been at the right place at a right time. So he must have been at a right place, at a right place at a right time. So not at the, it's an article correction of an article, and we have to be careful. So when you read the lesson, you have to be very careful about its tense, about the usage of the verbs, about the usage of prepositions, about the usage of articles, about the usage of the word forms, the kinds of sentences, and then only it will become very easy for anyone if you want to edit any passage. And I can consider, I can say, I too understand this editing is very a bit difficult, but thorough reading, thorough practice only will make us enlighten, or only will make us correct to will lead us to correct these mistakes in a better manner, in a right manner. And all the very best, children, and thank you very much. And you can read the lesson on your own again, and try to understand it on your own, and try to become thorough, because this lesson, we have seen only the first page of this particular lesson, and this is very, very important. And you might have understood what exactly the entire lesson is going to be, and the entire lesson is going to be like this only, and you would really understand what exactly the failure is, and what exactly the success is, and how the failures are very, very important in order to become successful in our life. And all the very best. You read the lesson again and try to underline the difficult words that you do not understand, and try to refer the dictionary, and try to know what the meanings, what are the meanings of the lesson that you are not able to understand. And so this entire credit goes to Mr. Shiv Khera, and he is Mr. Shiv Khera. And you can read this particular book. You can win if you have the time. You can. It's available online also. It's free of cost. You can download and you can read. And that is very interesting book. And if you start reading this particular book, you would understand the importance of failures. And he, as I already told you, winners don't do different things. They do things differently. Winners don't do different things. They do things differently. And what do? We have already discussed. They do simple things in a simple manner in a regular process. And thank you very much for this opportunity.
sir.
సీను లైవ్ ఆపుతా మీ
Okay, sir.